Welcome back to Conversations with Neighbours, the show where we shine a spotlight on the people shaping our community in meaningful ways. Today, we're sitting down with Dave Lowe's, Supervisor of Events in Mulock Park here in Newmarket. If you've ever attended one of the town's signature events, from the TD Newmarket Music Series to Winterfest or the spectacular events at Riverwalk Commons, then you've experienced just a bit of magic that Dave and his team has helped create. Under his leadership, Newmarket has won Municipality of the Year from Festivals and Events Ontario, not once, but 2 years in a row. We're diving into what it takes to make these events happen, how they evolved, and what's coming up, and what the future holds for this thriving town we call home. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. What an intro.
Yes, I always love that. More and more, I keep building up those intros. That's becoming my favorite part of the show now. Okay, so let's just dive right into Newmarket events. What goes into making a Newmarket event?
Yeah. Wow. How much time do we have?
As much time as you need.
That's a big question. I guess the short answer is there's a lot that goes into making a Newmarket event happen. But the reality is that, yes, I'm part of the events team, and we have an events team that sits within our recreation and culture department that, is sort of like steers the ship, I guess, in terms of the, start to finish planning and execution.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, the virtually every department within the town plays a role in making these events happen. And
how long is the planning of it, right? I get to be a guest at the event, right? Show up, everything's all dialed in and magical, but obviously I know these things take a lot of work. What is the planning process? What are timelines to making the great events?
Yeah, I mean, we try to plan as early as we can, or as far in advance as we can. It doesn't always play out like that, but I would say, 12 to 18 months out is generally kind of what we're looking at especially for some of our larger scale events. It's a competitive business too. I mean, other municipalities plan events. There's other privately run events happening, and so you've got to be ahead of the game in terms of booking talent and securing supplies and things like that. So it's
true. You saying that just made me think of booking talent, right? You're competing against other people that are doing other things, right? Sure. You got to secure that, and that takes planning in advance to make sure you get those good spots. And what about from ideation of it? Is it going out to the community and asking them? Is it all internal and staff? Is it a blend of all of it? How do the ideas come to fruition, really?
Yeah, definitely. I would say a blend of all of that. There's some trial and error involved, but usually, there's obviously a lot of internal dialogue with staff kicking around ideas, but then a lot of ideas also come from our elected officials, our mayor and council, who are hugely supportive of our events, and we're lucky for that. It makes our job a lot easier, and we all believe strongly in what community events can do for a community. And so the idea is, and then obviously we take feedback from the community, based on the events that we're currently doing. And we have I would say we have our finger on the pulse, we like to think, of the community, and we pay attention to, what they're asking for, or what we feel they may want or change. So we try to factor all of that in when we're developing the calendar, I guess.
Yeah. And, we're in it now, right? And all these great events, but it's not lost on me that if we look back 5 to 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. If you think back a decade ago, there wasn't all these great events that are going on. Mm-hmm. Talk about that shift and that growth of it from starting to do these community events, and then growing up the scale of it and the size of it. And, everything that's executed well, you get the compounding effects on it. But, think back of a decade ago of the early days of okay, let's get these events going.
Yeah. So I think I've been with the town for about 8 years, and, the town of Newmarket has always done great events. It's just what's changed over the last, probably 7-8 years and certainly in the last few years, is just the scope and scale of the events. And that comes with, a growing community. We're growing quickly. We have a diverse population that, that like to gather and celebrate and connect with each other. And we have like I said, we're also very committed as an organization and as a municipality to offering these events, making sure they're inclusive, making sure we're promoting them well so that the community knows that they're happening. And then just organically, it grows, and it's been growing at a steady rate for a number of years now, and that's exciting for us. But to your point, it comes with challenges and complexities that make the job a little bit bigger, and but it's all good. So yeah, even just like I mentioned earlier, every department is involved. I mean, and that just keeps growing as well. Like, I mean, if you think of our parks department as an example, I mean, they're hugely involved in, setting up, tearing down an event, maintaining the event space, before, during, and after. Our roads department, anytime we close a road for an event, which is, fairly often, whether it's a full road closure or just a temporary road closure or a partial road closure, there's lots of logistics and safety that, comes into play with that. Our communications team, and our marketing and sponsorship team that help spread the word, engage with corporate partners to generate funding to help pay for some of this stuff. And I'm going to miss some departments, but it's virtually every department. Economic development, when engaging with our local business community and trying to, lessen the impacts on the business community when we do events. Bylaws. Like, there's just so many so many stakeholders internally involved, and then then there's the external stakeholders or the external community partners, I'll call them, that are involved in all of our events as well. York Regional Police, as an example, is a huge partner of ours. We consult with them on a very regular basis in regards to safety issues. Central York Fire Services. I mean, there's just so many stakeholders internally and externally that it makes these events more complex than probably a lot of people realize.
Yeah, it's as like the person like me, like participating in them, right? You're so quick to forget of like the whole ecosystem of all these moving parts that actually come to make it together. But it really shows like how good of a job everyone is doing too, because like I was just at ABBA, right? Brought my little 8-month-old baby there for his first concert. I had the headphones on him.
Nice.
And I'm with my wife, and if we're just looking around, I'm like, I can't believe how many people are here. Like, it is absolutely wild. Like, how many people are coming down here to enjoy that, like, and to see that scale of this, and how lucky are we that all the work that you put in and everything you do and all the people that you just mentioned to be able to pull off this event, and you're doing many of them. It really is special.
Yeah. And what I forgot to mention there was the community in general. I mean, look, the fact that the community embraces the events that we put on the way that they do, I mean, validates everything and makes it more fulfilling. I mean, it's, all you have to do is look around the last week at the ABBA tribute concert at Riverwalk. I mean, and you see, 3,000+ people just having a great time, dancing to, Mamma Mia or whatever. And it's a great feeling. It's rewarding. And it's a lot of work, a lot of hard work that goes into it, but it's all worth it when the community embraces it the way that they do. Yeah, for sure. And, like you said, like you get the compound effects of it because people have already gone and they've had a great experience. So they're like, yes, I want to spend my time and go enjoy that too. And that's where you're getting these 3,000 person crowds. For sure. And, it's not lost on us that there's lots of choices for families to make too. I mean, today you could you could go anywhere and do anything, especially living in the GTA or New York region. I mean, you're so close to so many things. And so, we really appreciate that the community kind of rallies around what we're doing. And we try to make sure that we're keeping our events, as inclusive and accessible as possible as well. I mean, our events are free. Almost all of our events are free. And that's by design because, we don't want to, we want everybody to be able to enjoy what we do. And we try to come up with a diverse kind of calendar of activities so that there's something for everyone at some point in time. And that's really important to us.
Yeah, and there's like a huge mix of events that get put onto, from immersive experiences to culture celebrations to, as you think of like the whole calendar, it's just a wide range of things. And you could tell that you guys are super thoughtful of all those different areas and different types of events too, and continue to innovate. Yeah,
we try. Like you mentioned, I mean, you could go to a concert. We're hosting, outdoor movies. We have a dog festival. We've got a couple different street festivals that hopefully we can talk about at some point. Our Touch a Truck events. I mean, there's so many different experiences that you can have. And then, we have a number of arts and culture events as well that really focus on visual arts and all of the different arts that are important to building a community. So we try. And then, what's evolved over the years as well is that it's not just events that we plan and execute as a town. Not every municipality does that, by the way, either. Like a lot of municipalities just sort of permit space for third-party organizations to come and use and run their event. We do a lot of that as well, but we host our own, and we do a lot of our own, which is pretty unique and pretty cool. But what's really evolved over the last few years is that community event side, where there's lots of large-scale community events that are either new or they were hosted in other municipalities previously, and they kind of look at what's happening in Newmarket and the reputation that we've gained over the last few years, and they want to be part of the action. And so we get all kinds of requests from third-party events that want to come and host their event here. An example would be York Pride, which just hosted their 25th festival, 25th anniversary festival here with us. They've been here hosting it in Newmarket for several years now. That was a group that came from a different municipality. Youth Day we just hosted, which was historically in Toronto. They saw what was happening in Newmarket and they wanted to kind of get in on the action. And so we just hosted them a couple of weeks ago. And, we had a Persian festival at Riverwalk Commons a couple of weeks ago. So we get all kinds of requests from the community wanting to host their own events as well. And so that's a sign of evolution as well from an event perspective.
Yeah, and the recognition, Municipality of the Year, not once, but two years in a row. Like, what's that recognition mean? I think you kind of alluded to that too, but like actually getting that award, talk about that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's not why we do events, but it's always nice to be recognized, and especially at the provincial level. That means a lot to us as a municipality, as an organization. It kind of validates the work that we're doing. Again, it's not why we host the events, but it is always great to receive that recognition. And honestly, it just sort of fuels us to want to keep pushing and keep raising that bar. And we're never complacent. We're never we're not the type of organization that's just happy to put it in cruise control and, it's working, so let's just roll with it. We're always looking to innovate, looking to improve where we can, and that award, or those two awards, just motivates us to do more of that.
Yeah, like it's not the reason, but it's the byproduct of what you're executing on. Yeah. And as well, like you spoke on it, you need to continue to look forward and innovate too, because you got to stay ahead. I'm just picturing like my brain always goes like business and sports and stuff. It's like all the other municipalities are going to be looking towards you and be like, oh, let's do this. And so you got to continue to evolve and grow and think of new experiences and things of that nature too.
Yeah, for sure. And we get inspiration from our, municipal neighbors as well. I mean, we're fortunate to be in York Region where we're surrounded by a number of municipalities who are doing great things. And we try to feed off of that. We actually have a working group that meets monthly with all of our event planning counterparts at surrounding municipalities. And we talk about best practices and things like that. And so it's always motivating to see what others are doing too, and trying to see if we can adopt some of what's happening and what's working in other areas. So.
Yeah, for sure. And continuing the push envelope, right? We did Winterfest, right? That was. When was the first one?
So we had Winterfest. The Winterfest event was a long-standing event that had sort of moved around locations a few times, and then it was actually kind of replaced, I guess, a couple of years ago by Ice Lounge. Yeah. So part of what makes Newmarket so unique and so great from like an event venue perspective is that we have this gem of a downtown where we've got our historic Main Street that is, so vibrant with, patios and great boutique shopping, and now a really great boutique hotel in the Postmark Hotel. And then, right beside that, we've got Riverwalk Commons, which is a year-round like hub of activity. And so, we really want to hone in on, we host a lot of events downtown, but we want to sort of hone in on our Main Street specifically. It's really a crown jewel of the community. And so we introduced this Ice Lounge on Main event a couple of years ago, where it was a full street closure of Main Street, middle of February. It's very wintry. Yeah. And we licensed the whole street. We had extended patios and lots of winter themed activities. And it was just a really cool vibe, and it worked really well year one. We did it again this past winter, and it was another huge success. And it's a really great event, not only because it's unique, it showcases some of the uniqueness of downtown Newmarket, but it also provides our local economy downtown and those businesses a real injection during what's normally a pretty slow time of the year, in February.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you think of like dead of February, right? It's like, but to be able to pull off an outdoor event, like experience like that too. And obviously I was down there with the family. It was awesome. And then that kind of shows like somewhat of a blueprint for what's going to be coming up in August, right? Which is...
Yes, very exciting. Yeah. So basically the summer version, I guess, of that event is called Summerfest on Main. It's happening August 21st to the 24th. Which is a Thursday to Sunday. We're very excited about this event. To be able to have a multi-day street closure, street festival in the summer is really exciting. Opens up a lot of other opportunities of what we can do. But anyone who's interested, you can expect tons of live music, live entertainment. We've got some really great street performers and buskers coming. We've got children's entertainment every morning. Again, it'll be a fully licensed street with lots of patios and culinary experiences and public art and all kinds of things. And it just basically we're calling it the GTA's ultimate summer hangout, and that's the vibe we're going for, and that's what it'll be. And we expect a lot of people to come, and we're ready for it, and we're excited about it. And it starts actually on the Thursday night. It starts Thursday afternoon, but that Thursday night, the 21st, is our last TD Newmarket Music Series concert of the summer, which is always a big one just because it's the last one, but it's an extra special one with a Queen tribute band that night. We haven't had a Queen band here since, I think, 2019. So I know there's a lot of appetite in the community for that.
That's me.
Yeah, me too. And so this band is actually on tour. They're from Australia. They're touring Canada and Ontario specifically this summer. And we were lucky enough to kind of get them between stops. And I think it might be their only outdoor show of the tour. The rest of it is all, theater shows. So this is pretty special. We're lucky to have them. And it's going to be a big night and a big way to kick off Summerfest on Main.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's the kickoff to the Summerfest.
Should be cool. Then we're doing, this gives us an opportunity to do some different stuff. We're doing a silent disco headphone party. Each night at Summerfest on Main. So there'll be, 3 live DJs. And if you've ever been to one of those things at, like at an all-inclusive resort or something, it's they're pretty trendy and they're super fun. So we're hoping that, the crowd spills from Riverwalk that night and heads on up to Main and takes part in all the activities, including the headphone parties. So.
That's fun. So what, is there 3 DJs and then you pick like what DJ you're listening to?
Yeah, so the headphones have like different colored lights on them and you can select which color.
So who's vibing to it.
Yeah. And so it's pretty cool. It looks a little strange if you're not wearing headphones.
If you're walking by.
You're walking in, there's a bunch of people dancing to no music, but super fun. And, it's going to be a licensed area as well. So that'll add to it, but lots of other stuff happening on the street that night too. We do have live music, not through a headphone, a couple different areas of the street, and we've got street performers and lots of patios and stuff. So, that'll be a really great weekend to end the summer. Not really end the summer. We've got a great event the following week, Splash of Culture, which is one of our culture events. Yep. That's a unique event where we put a stage in the water feature. Riverwalk Commons, and there's a baby grand piano that's usually out there, and we just offer a different experience. It's
like a bunch of tables
down, seated experience with food and beverage, and it's different lighting. It's a different vibe, and it's a really cool, unique thing that we've been doing for a number of years. So excited about that, and then we get into September and we're into back to school. But Newmarket is our dog festival, which is actually a great event. It's very popular. We get 8 to 10,000 people over the course of the weekend. And so if you own a dog or if you just like dogs,
that's the place to be. Yeah.
Yes, it's a great event. So moved locations this year. We're going to Ray Twinney Recreation Complex. It'll be in the parking lot. But it's a great venue for an event. Lots of space to spread out. And it'll be another great Newmarket event.
Yeah, I love it. And, it feels like downtown Main Street, Riverwalk, like you really got it humming. Like you got all these great events, great activations. And there's a little small project that's getting built up on Mulock. Can you talk about that at all? Or
is that Mulock Park?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit. So I'm lucky. I don't have to manage any of the construction or anything like that. I'm going to be handed one of the sets of keys to the property when it's finished, and I get the pleasure of being part of programming what happens at that property. And we're very much in the planning phase now for that. So I won't spill the beans here today, but it's going to be an amazing property for the whole community to enjoy, whether it's just coming to use it passively on any day, having a picnic with your family, using the water feature or the skating trail that's going to be there in the winter. Or any of the playscape. The Mulock House is a real gem. It's being fully renovated. The Art Gallery of Ontario is going to occupy the top floor, which is a really special thing. So there's going to be lots and lots to do at Mulock Park year round, and it's going to become a real crown jewel of the community for not only for people that live here, but for visitors. It's going to be a destination that people are going to hopefully come from far and wide to use. And I'm super excited about it and looking forward to 2026, probably mid 2026. Not sure the exact date yet, but at some point in 2026, it'll be open and we'll make sure everyone knows about it.
Yeah, we'll have you back when the official opening is coming and we can talk about that. It really speaks to the municipality and the leadership and everyone involved too of vision, because if you think of Riverwalk, right, it took a lot to build that infrastructure to make the canvas, right, to then be able to create all these amazing events too, right? And it takes big commitment, lots of money, right? Like a lot of work, a lot of vision into the future. Now you could kind of see that's what's happening at Mulock too, right? Where it's like, it's a huge project, but if you want to build for the future, these are kind of the big bets that you got to do. And I think it speaks a lot to our municipality and everything that they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. It takes vision. And I mean, you know, can you picture downtown Newmarket without Riverwalk Commons? I
No.
mean, it's I've looked at photos, old photos recently where it's like, wow, that's what it used to be. And, you know, it's just become such a integral part of the community and of the scene downtown. And Mulock Park is going to be the same thing where, you know, for years and years to come, it's going to be the one of the crown jewels of the community. And there's going to be a point where you look back and say, like, geez, I can't even imagine what it was like when this wasn't here. Like, this is just a really special place. And so I think the same thing's going to happen there.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for, you know, all your hard work. And obviously it's a lot of hard work. I could just picture the mountain of work that goes into it for the community to enjoy. Obviously you and your team and everyone involved. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.